Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Main Street Fire Rescue. Good to see you all again. Well, the day is here. It's apocalypse. Oh, hold on. No, solar eclipse day. But if you paid attention to the damn news and all the hysteria, you'd think it's some kind of apocalypse. Schools are out today. Businesses are off today. All that's happening is the moon is passing in front of the sun. That's it. Gonna get a little dark here. Not total though. We're about 65-70% depending on who you're asking. But the hysteria right now is astronomical. And I'll give you a perfect example. Honestly, technology is making us dumber. You know, back in the day, before any technology, if you go way back, imagine being the early settlers here and experiencing a total eclipse. Yeah, I could see where they'd be like, oh crap, what's happening? You know, it's getting dark in the middle of the day. The sun's disappearing. I can see where that creates some hysteria. But now, it's like we have too much technology. We're turning into idiots. Somebody on a Disney Facebook group literally asked today if they should not waste money by going to Animal Kingdom because since the solar eclipse is happening, that they might put the animals inside all day so they don't accidentally stare at the sun and burn their retinas out. Not joking. Somebody actually commented on that. Which the response was, animals are way more intelligent than we are because they don't have access to technology. We, as human beings, are turning into idiots. The animals are not. The animals are very smart, actually. So, no, they will not be burning their retinas out. The animals will be on, they'll do their thing. That's about it. You know, as it gets a little darker, they may, you know, the nocturnal animals may be a little different, but way too much hysteria right now. But what's crazy is driving out here today, this morning, there's no traffic. Nobody's anywhere. Everything's closed. I mean, minus Disney World, but like schools are closed, everything. It's nuts. All I can say is those poor towns in Indiana and across the area where this totality is going to be, man, the traffic, I can't even begin to imagine. When I lived in Charleston for the last eclipse in 2017, well, we had one here last year too, in 2023, October 14th or something it was. But now Charleston, it got dark. We were in the totality area. But I'll tell you, I didn't go anywhere that day. Highway 17 that goes up and down Myrtle Beach to Hilton Head, all that, gridlock. It's gridlock all day. It's people wanting to see this total eclipse. And basically they wanted to be on the shore to watch it leave the U.S. So what I thought I would do is, well, maybe, I'm not sure if I'm going to stay at Magic Kingdom or if we'll park hop today. Somebody locked them up. But we'll be out here for when it starts darkening down a bit. We'll track it. Actually, Magic Kingdom is not that busy today. It's kind of interesting. Like I said, everybody's got eclipse hysteria. And, you know, it amazes me that I think it's social media in that because it promotes this. I hate the acronym, so I'm just going to say it. It's called fear of missing out. Everybody thinks they're going to be missing something. And so all at once, the entire U.S. has to descend upon a tiny swath of the U.S. What I'm going to do is I'm just here. We're just kind of leisurely walking today. There's no hurry for anything. What we're gonna do, since the walkway's not completely open yet, we'll go to Polynesian, and we'll board the monorail, and we'll go over to Grand Floridian, and then I might get off there and we'll continue the walk, or we'll go all the way to Magic Kingdom, walk around Magic Kingdom a little bit, walk to Contemporary, maybe walk back. We'll just figure it out. We'll play it by ear. Maybe we'll park hop. I'm not sure. But wherever you see pointed in front of me, that's where we'll be. And so initially, timeline, right around 1:45, this thing is supposed to get started. and then about 3:05-ish, ISH-ish, it's supposed to be at its peak. It'll be that way for about 3 minutes, and then it'll start to lighten back up, and everything will be back to normal again. And then all of this will go away until 2044, when the next total solar eclipse is supposed to come right through Orlando, like the path is right through here. And what's crazy to think about that is that's 20 years from now. I'll be 67. Shit. Oof. So that's the next great eclipse coming through the U.S. And it is, I can only imagine, I mean, who knows where we'll be in 20 years from now. I'll probably still be in Florida, but like, you often wonder, what are things going to look like in 20 years? What's the economy going to look like? What's it going to be, you know? All I can say is these resorts and that, you think things are expensive now, wait till that time hits. And what's crazier too is the amount of, I mean, it is a neat event, don't get me wrong. I've seen a couple of them in my lifetime, but none of them, and I think a lot of it's social media, because none of them have garnered the hysteria as the one in 2017 and then this one today. I mean, just the stuff people are talking about, states of emergency being issued, and I mean, some of it's because just the overwhelming amount of people descending on these really small towns. That's a lot of it, but it never used to be like this. It's just, people need to calm the F down a bit and just take a breath. I mean, really, you want to witness a solar eclipse? Come here in the summertime when the afternoon storms roll in. It gets dark here. I can tell you one thing, though, I would not want to be flying today or traveling. No. That's one of the reasons I decided to stay closer to home at the Disney Resort, because I thought about going out and about, and I thought, you know, be a bunch of knuckleheads out today. Everybody's got to go out and see this thing, and God only knows what traffic's going to be like this afternoon. So kind of staying close to home today, and then we'll go venture out tomorrow. While we're waiting, I knew this was going to happen. Disney's actually going to change the DAS system. Yep, it was due to happen. There's way too many people abusing it. You know, not wanting to walk is not an excuse. So, and the parks are overrun with ECVs. This is going to be real interesting in the coming months how this is going to take effect. Basically, what they've done is they've switched to the similar thing to Universal. There's an outside agency that provides, well, we'll talk about it in a minute when I get over there, but yeah. So I decided to get off the Grand Floridian. It's a beautiful day. Well, here we are, ladies and gents. The Grand Floridian lobby is back to its old self again. We won't see anything different until Christmas time, right around November. If you think about it, for several months, from November to mid-January, we have the gingerbread house and the gigantic Christmas tree. And then shortly after that, about a month and a half later, as soon as Lent starts, you get all of the decorated Easter eggs, the cottage, where you can get all kinds of treats from. So there's pretty much about half the year there's stuff going on here. Half the year it's just the lobby. So until November, this is how it's going to look for a while. I'm really surprised that this never reopened, at least yet. Or they did tea time with Alice in Wonderland. Like, that to me seemed like that would be a very lucrative thing to do for the parks and that. I mean, it was very popular when it used to be here. This was another thing that never came back post 2020. Man, what a beautiful day for a walk, huh? I'm glad I did this. This is wonderful. We are, let's check our time. 12:38, 1:45. So we're about an hour before the eclipse. And again, I'm going to try to see if I can capture this. Maybe. I tried it last year with my cell phone because I was at work last year. It was hard to capture it. The one in 2017 in Charleston was easy, because what was weird is I was not watching it directly, but I was in the house and I'm like, oh, let's check the security camera, and it was in night mode. It was so dark. It was like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It was wild. Well, these lights are on already. What if these stay on all day? Huh. I know in Charleston all the street lamps came on. That was it was interesting. And once the sun got completely, it was like you could see the shadow move. It was a sight to see. I mean, I can see why people do this. I really can. It is a neat sight if you've never seen one, but it's just, some people spend a shit ton of money for something that literally is about 2 or 3 minutes long. It's crazy. And then all those little Indiana County roads and that, oh man, I can't imagine what that's going to be like later on. And you've got the national championship game tonight on top of everything else. And Indiana, the whole state of Indiana is going to be in shutdown mode. On my walk to Magic Kingdom, I'm on the bridge here. This is a swing bridge that basically, it doesn't go up, it actually swings out, which opens this channel up. Well, this is a great addition, because up until a couple years ago, this didn't exist and you couldn't make the walk all the way around. Now it's nice. And like I said, I can walk from Grand Floridian all the way around, but that monstrosity is blocking the path from being able to make the whole walk. You can normally walk from Ticket Transportation Center all the way around to the Contemporary and then all the way back. There is no path from the Contemporary that way, which that'd be cool if there was, but there isn't. But anyway, it's a good place to train for if you're doing a marathon too. This channel right here, if you look right back here, you can see some barges sitting there. They got the big screens on them. Those are the barges for the nighttime electric boat parade that they have. That walkway that runs right by those barges, right there, that's where I was a couple weeks ago for the Keys to the Kingdom tour. That's all backstage back there. That was one awesome tour. We actually walked up to, I don't know if you can see him, right where there's a guy standing down there. Right about where that person's walking. Right about there is where we turned and went that way. So we came down, all the parade buildings are back there. And then we turned and went down and went this way. And then that's also when we learned that it was actually a 16-year-old boy that solved the problem of those barges jackknifing all the time. Came up with the idea of putting an outboard motor on the other side to keep everything in line. They were almost going to scrap it because it wasn't working. So, it's amazing. I'm just going to let this play for a minute. This is for tonight.
We're way past big speech time. I want to thank you for the last few months. It's been very special for me. Anybody have anything they want to say?
Yeah. Let's win this and for all the small schools who never had a chance to get here.
Okay.
I want to win for my dad. Let's win for Coach, who got us here. Thank you.
With God of heaven, it is all one. To deliver with a great multitude or a small company. For the victory of battle standeth not in the multitude of hosts, but strength cometh from heaven.
David put his hand in the bag and took out a stone and slung it. And it struck the Philistine on the head, and he fell to the ground. Amen.
Look at this. This is something you don't see very often. It is 12:30-ish. ISH. On Eclipse Monday. Wow. I tell you, man, these are the times you want to plan on going. Not that this happens all the time, but it's amazing. I think they said this is the number 3 most photographed spot in the world. Second to like the Eiffel Tower. It's so weird. This is not that busy today. Crazy. I wonder if either it's the eclipse today or it's Burns' sunblocker, one of the two. So a 15-minute wait at about 1 in the afternoon is almost unheard of. As I said, we should be on this by 1:30 if their wait times are correct. This is what's holding the line up. Everybody's messing with the dynamite. Yeah, look at it. Crazy, man. This proves my point over and over again. Look how fast this moves when you take the lightning lane out. So there's not many people using it today. Look how fast this goes. And if people would pay attention. I can tell you this is one of those queues you don't want to find yourself in the middle of July and August. There is very little, there's fans in here, but there ain't a whole lot of airflow in here at all. And it gets kind of tight in some areas. What's really interesting about both these rides, Disneyland's is actually upstairs. Here you go downstairs. And honestly, if you've ever ridden both of them, Disneyland's and I hate saying this, but it's the truth. Disneyland's Big Thunder Mountain, way better, way better. It's faster, it's more aggressive, it's got more special effects. So it's really good. This is what they need to start moving crowds. They need some retired U.S. Marine Corps drill sergeants.
Shut up, Frank! Get your eyes on me! Now, Fort Marine Corps Crew Chief Los Angeles, California. Received fare, building 622. The last word on your mouth will be certain, will be loud. Do you understand? Yeah! Now, when I tell you to get on my bus, you'll bring everything off the bus, you put on the bus, and you'll get on my yellow footprints. Do you understand? Yeah!
We are official time. Oh, we did it.
This here's the wildest ride in the
Wilderness! All right. I wish Disney World would fix this fountain right here. There's supposed to be a waterfall right here. Disneyland's it works. Here we go. Gotta let the ass end catch up. It's like a chiropractor. Got to get the ass end caught up again. Here we go. Yeah.
That might be better than
That was fun.
I like how you went.
Big Thunder Mountain Railroad for all your chiropractic needs. That was almost spot on, 15 minutes. We actually were ahead of schedule by about 5, so 10-minute wait. I tell you, I made my point over and over again. You take that damn Genie Plus Lightning Lane BS out of the equation. It's amazing how fast that line moves, even with the decent amount of people in there. While we're out here, let's talk a minute. You've heard, I've mentioned this before, but you've heard them talk about the Beyond Big Thunder Mountain editions that look like they're gonna get greenlit at some point, referring to this area over there, like the Beyond Big Thunder. The only downside is there's some strong rumors that all of this, Tom Sawyer Island and the Rivers of America, would be going away. I hope that's not true. I hope that's not true, because this stuff is iconic. It's been here since day one. And I feel like to preserve Walt's, memory and his legacy, I feel like you can't wipe out everything that, was part of the original park. So I'm hoping that that's a rumor, that this is not going to actually go away. Probably next week. I have a day off next week. I'm going to take a day and vlog Tom Sawyer Island. 'Cause I've not been over to that part. The only place I've ever been is this first half. Last time we were out here, we could get to the bridge, and that was it. You couldn't cross the suspension bridge, so I have no idea what is over here. I've only seen it in vlogs and that, but it looks like there's a pretty cool area over here. One of these areas, though, is where they found the bear last year, just hiding out. So the Beyond Big Thunder Mountain, again, would be all of this. That tree line there, all the way behind here, back there. I mean, it's a huge, huge plot of land. And they do have some pretty impressive plans for it. So we shall see in time. I just hope they don't wreck all of this, because this is, again, you can't take things away. You gotta add on to. The parks are getting way too busy to keep taking things away. If you ever want to come out here, as soon as you leave Big Thunder Mountain, instead of going to your right towards Splash Mountain, take a left and come up this way. Some fantastic views up here. Hey, look at this. That's a nice relaxing ride too. If you can get on that thing right at sunset, highly recommend it. I think that'd be a fun job as a cast member to drive the Liberty Bell. There's two things I think it'd be awesome to have. One would be to drive the train. The other one would be to drive this Liberty Bell. That would be pretty neat. And what's really cool is that is not special effects. That is actual steam. The steam engine's down there, the boiler room, which powers the wheel in the back. It's great, man. It's old school firefighting technology too. So as this thing moves forward, it drives that piston in there, which turns that wheel. That's really cool, man. You don't see stuff like this much longer. Or, you don't see stuff like this anymore, I should put it that way. It's very, very rare, which is really cool. And over at Disneyland, they have the Mark Twain, which does something very similar. It goes around the rivers of America out there, which theirs is way different though, but still the same idea. We'll wait for it to come around. We'll catch it going right through there. That's a cool visual. T-minus 10 minutes. 10 minutes till we start the dimming of the sun, or burns of the sun blocker. One of the things I think I should comment on is they tell you, you know, not to look at the sun during a solar eclipse. Well, you shouldn't look at the sun, period, man. That's not good for you. I mean, I just find it amazing that here we are in 2024, and you still have to tell people don't stare directly into an eclipse or the sun. Hey, what happened here, man? Something went amiss somewhere. And then again, like I said, walking in here, the fact that people think that the animals are just going to all go blind because they're all going to stare at the sun, it just shows you where we're at mentally. And social media has ruined our thought process and our brains. Okay, official time, 1:45. It begins now till about 4:15. Like I said, it's not going to get completely dark here, but it'll darken down a bit. Thought we'd swing out here real quick too. This is the Frontierline Shooting Arcade. This is now a free offering. It used to cost a couple quarters. But yeah, this is now free. Supposedly there's rumor this is going to be another one of those freaking Disney Vacation Club lounges. But this is the stuff that a lot of people keep talking about. They keep closing down all of this stuff, and now, while this is not anything extremely popular, it's still something for people to do. It's just like when they got rid of Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom. That was a very popular game, and it allowed people something to do outside of waiting in queue lines. And that's been the biggest gripe ever since the parks reopened, is they keep taking away all of these things to do, and all you have are masses of people wandering around from attraction to attraction is basically what it comes down to. They really need to start putting in more things for people to do. Lots and lots, well, not lots, but a large amount of vloggers and that have made that quite clear. This is a cool baseball jersey that just came out recently. It's got Tomorrowland on the front. Yeah. Walking out, everybody's got their solar eclipse viewing devices. Some people have got the glasses. Some people have made some of the boxes where you can see it on the ground. That's pretty neat. I'm glad to see people like take interest in this stuff. Sometimes though, it does get blown way out of proportion. Like all the animals going blind because they've had their retinas burned out by staring at the eclipse. That was a little extreme. I don't think you could see it on the camera, but it does look, it looks a little more dim than usual out. Like I said, you gotta take off your sunglasses. As I said, I can only imagine what this place would be like in 20 years when that eclipse comes right over Orlando. It'd be nuts. it is starting to look a little more dimmer out. Nothing too wild though. I still stand behind this man. Everybody in that monorail car I was with had a freaking British accent. Crazy. Crazy how many of y'all are here right now. As I said when I was in the park, if it wasn't for overseas travel right now, there'd be nobody here. This place would be empty. Well, we are going to head back to the car, and when the camera turns back on again, and that's where we'll be. I'll see y'all in a little bit. Welcome to Animal Kingdom. I thought we'd swing out here for a few. I don't know if you can see through the lens here or not, but it's a little dimmer. It's definitely a lot dimmer. I was following it through Fox News. They're doing across the nation. Some of the, what was it, Austin, Texas, and a couple others. It's wild. I mean, it goes completely dark. And realistically, to get the full effect of an eclipse, you gotta get in the totality, because even if you have, like, even if you're in the 90th percentile, it's still going to be somewhat daylight. It's when that moon blocks the sun entirely. You get that, what they call that, the diamond ring effect, as it moves, where just a little bit of light pokes out, or for the moment when it blocks it entirely, and you can actually stare at it with your eyes without hurting yourself. It's pretty amazing. Oh, can you all see a difference outside? I'm not sure, because through my camera it all looks the same. We're 3 minutes away. 4 minutes away. 3:03 is the peak. Yeah, it looks like nighttime in Indianapolis right now. And just like that, it's back to daylight, back in Indianapolis. That's wild. Now all these people got to get on the road. Oh my gosh. Let's check out traffic across there. Actually, it's not too bad. Yeah, traffic's not terrible. I figured it'd be a lot worse. It is wild though. All that preparation in 3 minutes. You can already see it here. It's getting way lighter already. It is amazing though, like the animals have quieted down quite a bit. Normally it's pretty noisy on the island here. So I would imagine as we get past like 4 o'clock, they'll start picking back up. So I filmed all the way through the eclipse, and to think, schools and everything in Central Florida, businesses, everything shut down today. For that. Don't get me wrong, it's a cool event, but unless you're in the path where it gets completely dark, unless you're in the path of totality, I mean, 90 percentile is still decent, but to really experience it, you gotta be in the totality pathway. Well, welcome back. Welcome back home. Yeah, I'm just kind of chilling for a minute. I got a few other projects to do. Got to work out again. Straighten the house up a little bit. Just kind of do some things. But I thought I would chat with y'all for a minute. It was a good time today. That was fun. It always is cool to see these solar eclipse phenomenon, even though, like I said, for us, it gets darker during a summertime storm here. So, but it's fun. It was neat to see everybody, with their glasses, checking out the eclipse and all that. And, we were at like 60 to 70%. But, again, to get the complete darkness, you got to be in the totality path, which we will be 20 years from now. So make your reservation. All you annual pass holders, put in your park reservations now at Magic Kingdom for 20 years from now. I wonder if they'll let us do that, huh? Where you're watching from, did you get a chance to see the complete totality? Were you in that area? Let me know. And also, let me know what traffic was like afterwards. I was looking at the maps, and the traffic heading out of Speedway, Indianapolis, looked absolutely atrocious. For those that aren't from Indiana, I'm sure you can put two and two together. the town of Speedway is where, take a wild guess, there's a large track there. Yes, the Indianapolis 500 track is located. And they invited, I don't know how many thousands of people into the Speedway, in the grandstands, in fields, all around. I think they even had people out on the track. So it was just this huge event. So it looked like traffic was awful getting out of there. And then the county roads, where a lot of people were, that were, you know, these little towns that were in the path of totality, that was another one that everything looked very busy. And that was just Indiana, so I can't imagine the other parts of the U.S. It was neat, though, to watch it I was watching it through Fox News. They had it as it went across the U.S. It is amazing, though, when you really watch it, how fast like when it entered into Texas, it was about 2:45. And by the time it was out of the United States, when it went through Niagara and Maine, it was like 20 after 3. So in basically 40 minutes, that the shadow had passed, the eclipse had passed through the country. That's pretty amazing when you think about like how fast we're actually spinning on this planet, you know, how fast we're orbiting. And then again, for the moon to block out the sun like that, there's got to be, you know, certain distances. Like I said, the one in Charleston, the path of totality was a little bit smaller, but this one was pretty wide, and it lasted another minute and a half longer than Charleston's did. Charleston's like 2 minutes or so. This one was like 3.5, almost 4 minutes. It was pretty neat because I was, like I said, following on the news. But yeah, if you got a chance to see it where you're from, let me know. Let me know, you know, did you have fun? Did you have the day off today? I know a lot of people did. I do have some good news, as I mentioned before. None of the animals are walking around with burned out retinas. They're good to go. I saw the birds flying around. Everything's returned to normal here. We're about half hour, 45 minutes past when it ended. So yeah, everything's all good. So I'll see y'all again soon, and enjoy the rest of your week. Have a fantastic one, everybody. See you again shortly. Main Street Fire Rescue out of service. I'll see you.